In Act 4, the witches concoct a powerful potion of mischief, mixing all things foul and pitiful to the eye, for a charm of powerful trouble, all symbolic of the wretched state that is Scotland. And like the cauldron's hell broth, the country sinks. And we see in Act 4 that one element that is thrown into the mix, into the cauldron, for a charm of powerful trouble, is the idiot. In Act 4, with the character of Macbeth, the moral of the story goes that in walking on the edge of disaster, it was stupidity that pushed them over the edge. The moral of the story goes that it is in the interpersonal response to crisis, when people start making massive mistakes, when the interpersonal response goes out of whack, then the world falls apart. In Act 4, Macduff's wife responds to her husband's abandonment in a time of great danger, as his flight was madness. He wants the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. Malcolm is also in disbelief of what Macduff has done, crying, the doctor feels, what the hell were you thinking? Why have you left them? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love. But in bringing up the witches' chant, double, double toil and trouble, Lady Macduff's interpersonal response to this tragedy of her husband leaving them is what makes things even worse. In her badgering of her son over and over again, what will you do for a father? How will you live fatherless? Her response to idiocy is even more idiocy. And when it comes to Malcolm, at the end of this act, he tells others of his own inner idiot, what his own inner idiot is like, a roadmap to its antics. Malcolm speaks, "There is no bottom, none, in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust." And he describes a staunchless avarice, that were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels and this other's house. He's basically saying that he's going to play the fool as the king and pour the sweet milk of concord into hell. But Macduff regards this not with horror or as an affront, but with imagination and generosity. He responds, "Don't worry, we have willing dames enough, and that Scotland has enough treasure to fill up his will." Macduff understands that we all have an inner idiot, and that to live more harmoniously, we must understand, accommodate, and forgive it in ourselves and in others. He is aware that the inner idiot is not ever going to go away, and that we must endeavor to form a good working relationship with it. And in the end, when the men all ride off to fight, It has a tinge of the Monty Python medieval humor in it. You know, the way that they've all smoothed over one another's inner idiot and ride off harmoniously. It brings up the famous speech from Act 5. To the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.